You're tuned into Women in Bloom, a mother-daughter personal development podcast for women in their bloom season. Life comes at you fast, and to that we say, bloom anyway.
I can create frameworks, courses, community materials, anything to share with other women to keep them from having to go through what I did for as long as I did by myself, just sitting in the corner of my brain because at that time I was an extreme perfectionist too. Or
Mhm.
yeah, it was just
You had all the things.
Hence the
girl.
perfectly imperfect space.
Exactly. Yes.
Welcome back to Women in Bloom, y'all. It's your host, Jasmine and Eldress. I'm here with Eldress, and we are welcoming on a very special guest today. Her name is Ashley Fell. She is a speaker, author, identity mentor, and kingdom builder. She's the founder of the Imperfectly Perfect Space and the Becoming Room. Ashley is a voice for the women in the in-between. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The one healing, becoming, rebuilding, and stepping back into the identity God always had in mind. Through her signature Becoming frameworks, the Becoming Her book, and her transformative teachings inside the Becoming Room, Ashley guides women from confusion to clarity, from drifting to direction, and from broken identity to bold purpose. With a prophetic sensitivity, a poetic voice, and a practical framework-driven approach to spiritual formation, Ashley creates rooms, on stages, in communities, and in hearts, where women finally remember who they are. Join us in welcoming Ashley Fell to the podcast. Welcome. Go.
We are in business. We are in business. Did you know that Ashley and I went to high school together?
No.
We did. We
Where-
did.
Excuse me, where are you now?
I am in Rochester.
You're still in
I
Rochester.
actually I left for quite some time.
Uh-huh.
I moved to St. Louis for 11 years
Oh,
and
wow.
then a whole bunch of stuff that has everything to do with my story. Ooh, St. Louis was a mess.
Well, I
But yeah,
can't
I'm
wait
back
to
in
hear it.
Rochester now.
Well, wonderful. Let me
Yes.
see.
So, just to share some background, um, Ashley is building space and community for women who are in transition and growing and expanding and developing. It's really important for me, obviously, as we build Women in Bloom and as I build my coaching practice, to kind of reach out to women who are kind of getting started on that journey and connecting and just kind of being in space and sharing space with women who are on that same journey. So that hence the reason why we're here. So one of the things that I was just really impressed with is Ashley has a book. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into all the details of what her world is like. But first of all,
Well,
I also
congratulations.
Thank you.
yes. So I also want to share some background. Women in Bloom podcast was born out of just a desire to want to share wisdom, multi-generational wisdom, and perspective from Black women. So hence Eldris and I embarked on this journey together, and we're just having a lot of fun with it so far. So Ashley, for the
Awesome.
people
Yeah.
I
that
love that. I love
Ashley, for the people that are meeting you for the first time, how would you describe the perfectly imperfect space and your journey?
I'll start by saying that the imperfectly perfect space is a place where women can come and exhale because so many women have just been through so many things and are wanting to or feeling that they're called for more or that they deserve better and may not necessarily have the framework or all the pieces to get there. So it's like when I first start talking to them, it's like just breathe. you know. It's a place for women to heal and grow and rediscover their identity in Christ after they've been shaken, after they've experienced trauma, things of that nature. Because trauma, divorce, disappointment, all things, it's like they can really shake you. And it's like, where do I go from here? Like, I know I was not put on this earth to just go. So that's how the Perfectly Imperfect Space was born. I am creating a space to push women into identity reclamation and wholeness and aligning themselves with the Lord because I just feel like the Lord just has so much in store for us and the trauma. We're more than just our trauma. And the Becoming Space is kind of born out of that. It's an online community for women to be a part of a sisterhood and heal and walk the becoming journey together. So I have like courses, I do Bible sessions around women in the Bible to kind of show these women that, these are things, first of all, they're cyclical, they're generational, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you put your mind to it and you develop the frameworks and become aligned to move forward in a positive way.
In our preliminary call, we just kind of chatted about your journey. And I really think it's important as I'm just personally have gone through my own really baptism by fire, so to speak. And I I never
Oh,
really
for sure.
understood. Right. And I never really understood or knew what that term meant. And I think it's very important when you having having had the experience of going through a fire in your life, and we all experience it in some way, shape, or form. So I'm curious what happened in your journey that was that pivotal moment that got you to the point where you were like, you know what? I want to be a resource to other women because yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's been so many things and so many things overlap. This has been, oh my gosh, my daughter is 13. So this has been pretty much like a decade of just tumultuous trauma that really I kind of went through all by myself. I didn't know what to do. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. Kind of like how when we first started, I said that I lived in St. Louis for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I finished up my bachelor's and my master's degree. I met a gentleman,
A
you know,
gentleman.
a gentleman.
Always a gentleman, right? There's always a gentleman in there.
He was much older than me. It just seemed like he had so much wisdom at the time. We got together, we got married, planned for our daughter, took out my Miranda. I thought everything was going to be great. My pregnancy was phenomenal. He was very supportive, came to all the doctor's appointments with me and everything. And then literally the day I went in for to be induced, but as soon as they rolled me into that recovery room, he like just disappeared in thin air. Like I can laugh about it now. Oh gosh, but it took me through the ringer. Like I became suicidal and everything. I had postpartum depression. It was a lot. People, the nurses and doctors were coming in asking me where he was. I had no idea, so I started lying. I'm like, "Oh, he's got the flu. He'll be back." No. He did come get me, when I got discharged, thank God, in my car, mind you. Us
Uh,
women, when we're young and dumb, we just go through so much. And I'm like, no, like I know we
you
planned
know,
this. This is
right.
going
But
to
you had a
work.
lot of evidence to say that he was going to show up. I
I
mean, it
did.
wasn't
It's
like you
like,
had
what
all of
in the
that
world
negative evidence.
happened? Like, this can't be life. Like, it felt like I was in a movie, like I was
Yeah.
watching someone else's story. So, but luckily, I had my mom there, I had his mom there, some of his family members, they came to help me. But I for the longest time didn't know what happened to him. And then
Mm,
I found out that unfortunately, I don't know if it was the realization that life is really real now, like the baby's
mhm.
here, but I found out that he had been out there on the streets just
Mm.
on drugs. And I'm like, wait. So then you
Mm,
start questioning yourself.
Mm,
Like, was he doing this the whole time? Did I miss the
mhm,
signs? And if he was
mhm,
doing this the whole time, how did I miss these signs? Like, I'm a highly educated woman. I go
mm.
to work every day. I take care, like, no, this is not.
yeah, very on point too. Like I just in the email exchange, I'm like, this is gathered. Okay.
Like, this
So
is not the life that I'm supposed to be leading. Like, I
yeah.
have a whole daughter now. Like,
Yeah.
mommy mode kicked in immediately. Like, Mama Bear, like, look,
Mm.
okay, let me make a plan. Let me get myself together. So I just, try, of course. And that's another thing a lot of us women do. We try to repeatedly try to make things work.
Mhm,
Mm.
The red flags are there, probably had been there that we ignored, but it's like now there's no ignoring this. What, girl, what
mhm,
are you going to do?
Mm.
So, after my daughter was born, they just went wild. I stayed, unfortunately, for a little bit, a lot longer than I should have, like a lot of women do.
mhm,
And just the abuse just became too much. I
Mm.
remember there was this one time specifically, oh, you guys are getting the inside edition because I wanted to save this for my memoir. But I'll never forget. There was this one day, it was a Sunday. We were on our way home from somewhere, I can't remember, and we had gotten into an argument. We had just left Krispy Kreme, and he threw the whole box of donuts, like jelly-filled, custard-filled donuts,
mm,
on me in my car, and our daughter was in the back seat.
mm,
Mm.
And then I got out the car, I got our daughter, I went in the house, I closed the door, he left. He
Mm.
came home later that night. We got into another horrible argument. My daughter was already asleep at this point, and he forced himself on me. And I remember just praying and crying. I'm like, Lord, if you get me out of this situation, I promise I will
Mm.
never come back. So I woke
mhm,
up really early the next morning and I packed as much as I could into two small bags, a bag for my daughter and a bag for myself. And I was gone and I never looked back. I moved in with my mom for a
that's
month,
right.
which was just enough for me to save up my security deposit and first month's
Mhm,
rent.
mhm,
And I was gone and never looked back. I found these free group sessions. So I
Mm.
started group therapy and I thought that was all I needed because the women that I was in therapy with, it seemed, or what I told myself is that, oh, their journey is harder than mine because not
Mm.
trying to like, go racial or anything, but I was in group therapy with a group of white women.
mhm.
And
Mm.
at this time, mind you, remember, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. So
Right.
this the Bible Belt, like
Mm,
the good old boys crew. So as these women were telling me their story, it's like, yeah, you may have led a provided for lifestyle,
Mm.
but you haven't worked in 20 years. You've got
mhm,
all these kids. All you've been was a housewife taking care of your children and your husband, and now your husband don't want you no more.
mhm,
You
Mm.
have no skills to get a job. You
mhm,
have no money to get a house. You have no money to take care of your kids, but because your husband is a good old boy, he is telling the judge who he goes to play golf with every week
mm,
Mm.
that, oh, I'm taking the house and I'm taking the kids. So you've just been kicked to the curb. So
mm.
in my mind, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I did go through all of this, but at least I can take care of my child. I can take care of myself. I can get my own apartment. So I internalized it as, oh, well, at least I'm better off than them. But
Them, yeah.
really, mentally, oh
Mhm,
my gosh, I was still suicidal at this time, writing in my diary, like, Lord, get me through the night. But
Mm.
what kept me was the fact that I was a mother. I had a 1-year-old daughter. Like,
Mm.
I can't check out of here.
mhm,
So, yeah, I just kept pushing forward, making a lot of mistakes along the way.
yeah.
And then my mother and I decided that the best thing to do would be to pack up and move back to Rochester, which is
Mhm,
what we did. And I went got back into therapy, just solo therapy, and just had so many realizations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I can create frameworks, courses, community materials, anything
Mm.
to share with other women to keep them from having to go through what I did for as long as I did by myself, just sitting in the corner of my brain, because at that time I was an extreme perfectionist too. Or
Mm.
yeah, it was just,
You had all the things.
Hence the
girl.
perfectly imperfect space.
Exactly. Yes. 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 Yes.
Well,
So
thank
yeah,
you.
I'm just here to pull women up, honestly.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing your story. There's so much to be said about that experience of like hitting that bottom, whatever that bottom is for
Yeah.
you, and feeling your way out. It's almost like you have on blinders, but
Yeah.
you're like, okay, that's there. Okay, that's there. And
Mm.
it's a
Yeah.
one foot in front of the other kind of thing. And
Literally.
yeah. And it's powerful that you've created this space to kind of guide other women because there are a lot of people who have those same feelings of wanting to check out or like wanting to disappear. Like, can I just like not do any of this? And
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah, so and I think it's also very interesting that you pointed out the difference between like as a Black woman, our struggles are a lot different. Like
Mhm.
the playing field in so many different ways is just a lot different. So even more emphasis on the need for spaces like
For sure.
yours. Yeah.
Definitely. I would I can uh just add an ashe and an amen to your journey. Um Having gone through a similar situation with my husband of 43 years, who has been drug-free and alcohol-free now for a few decades.
Oh, that's
But early in our marriage, we had, and not so early, not with 1 years old, because Sasha and Jasmine were like 6, 7,
mm,
8, going through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we do tell ourselves, well, this isn't that bad. And then we compare what we're going through. You know, we hear other stories. And so other stories, oh, wow, well, I can work this because
mhm.
it ain't that, right? But we do have those moments where I'm like, this is too much. Enough already. Can I just not have this struggle?
I also love seeing women who kind of in the same vein of just like overcoming. I,
Mhm.
Hmm.
I really love seeing women that are able to transmute that energy
Hmm.
from that season.
Yeah.
It's not something that everybody can do, and not everybody does it. Like some people go through really tough patches and they become really resigned. You know,
Mhm.
it's it's not activating for other people. You know, so you said, Ashley, God doesn't waste a rough patch.
Oof,
Hmm.
So
he does not.
he does not. So speak to
Does
me more
not.
about your just that saying and what it means for you.
Oof. That actually, that phrase means a lot to me. And I forgot who first told me that. Someone told me that years ago when I was starting on my road of trying to pull myself back together. I was going to this church, and the pastor of that church had said that the Lord, he doesn't waste a rough patch. He doesn't waste anything. And I'm like, at first I'm like, but then as I was going through the journey, I'm like, you know what? That is so true.
Mm,
There's so many times where because of what we went through, we feel ashamed or we feel disqualified and we want to
mm,
cover it up. I know now I know that's a huge part of being a perfectionist. And it's like, I
mm.
wonder, first of all, I think there's so many people who are perfectionists that just don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like the Lord, he uses these seasons of wilderness
Mm,
to build us up. And it's like so many women don't know that. They think that that's the end of their story. And it's like, no, it's like you turn your eye to the Lord, and he will show you, like, oh no, baby, that's not the end. Actually, it's the beginning. Let me refine
Absolutely.
you a little bit. Let
Mhm.
me rebuild you in this season so you can start on the real assignment that I have for you. And
Right.
that's literally what he's been doing through me. And I
Right.
want to show women, I want to teach women that it's the case for them too.
Yeah.
Every experience that we have is a learning opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, in the midst of it, you have to ask yourselves, okay, so I'm supposed to be learning something here. What is it?
Hmm.
Right? And is it something about me? Is it about the situation? Is it how I find myself in these places? Or I need to go through this so that I can understand
Right.
what to do and how to help someone else, right? And that's a
Right.
part of your journey.
Absolutely, it is. And
Hmm.
also to learn how to not make that same mistake because we
Ah,
go in cycles.
that's right. That's
We
right.
go in cycles until we figure it out. And it's like,
If
if
you
I can
don't
keep
repeat, you will
someone from
repeat.
repeating the cycle, that's
Mm.
a win for me.
Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, or shortening that rebound time.
Hmm.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
Hmm.
doing the healing that you need to do, but also like the stuckness will get you. Like the
Yes.
stuckness will get
Hmm.
you.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like you just gotta keep, I always say, as long as you put one foot in front of the other, like we're not trying to run a marathon, we're not trying to
Right.
sprint this. Excuse me, we're not trying to sprint this. It is a marathon. So you just keep putting one foot down in front of the other
Yeah.
in small chunks and just keep making small progress, but don't get stuck.
Don't
Yeah.
get stuck.
Stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you get stuck, oh my goodness, that enemy will grab hold of you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh,
I mean, we talk about like energy and like, I mean, I'm a spiritual girly.
yeah.
We talk about like um the universe conspiring with you with your energetic field. So if you are um have a defeatist mindset, if
Hmm.
you are beating down your own ori, your own crown, your own spirit for being in the wilderness,
Hmm.
you tend to call in
Right.
people.
You
You get
do.
more of that.
You get
Absolutely
more of what
do.
you get more of that.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
you have to
Mhm.
figure out how to feel through and keep putting one foot on the ground in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really, really do.
You know what I love? I love how, and I think we talked about this in our first call, like we're literally saying the same things, just using
Hmm.
different words. I
Absolutely.
love that. So, because it's, and that's literally what it is. That is how life is. No matter what you believe in,
Hmm.
it's still that forward movement, that forward progression. Like you were not put on this earth just to keep going through trauma after trauma after trauma. No.
Hmm.
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't care what you believe. I know you believe that you were put on the world for a
For
better
more.
life than that.
Right.
So it's like just
Mhm.
unlocking those keys, which kind of goes along with what you said, that forward, just putting one step in front of the other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that there are sometimes we um there's a story that our old pastor used to tell in church about
Who's Brother Tony?
there was a man, yeah,
Okay.
a man was in a flood, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
And said, I'm waiting for God to come. And so somebody came by in a boat. Or
Mm,
somebody first came by in a car, said, hey, we going to higher ground. He said, no, no, God gonna save me. Somebody came by in a boat. We going to higher ground. God gonna save me,
mm,
right? And so sometimes what happens is we're getting sort of opportunities that we don't look at, right? And we either we don't think those opportunities are for us, or that we're not ready for those opportunities.
yeah,
But those are the things that spiritually are in alignment for us to grab onto
yeah,
to to continue our journey. But we don't look at those things. God sends them. Our ancestors are sending them.
yeah.
We're calling some things in, but we sometimes think we're not worthy of those opportunities.
That's very true. That's
You
very
know.
true.
Just adding another layer, but we just in a whole spiritual bag here. But um, Buddhism teaches that, difficult seasons, the wilderness,
Mm,
difficult people in your life, to regard them as your spiritual mother.
mm,
And by doing so, not only do you frame it as a teachable experience, like
Hmm.
something that is being taught to you?
Hmm.
Um, Particularly with the other person, you are able to kind of put that reverence that you put on a mother figure onto that person and the lesson. And through
Hmm.
that, you're able to say, okay, this is meant to teach me something. I'm going to remove this particular person, the name, and, but this representative is now my spiritual guide.
Got you.
So, what am I meant to take from this experience?
Hmm.
What am I meant to learn? Rather than being angry or getting upset that this is the experience. And it's
Hmm.
a really peaceful, for me personally, it's a really peaceful reframe for me and
Mhm.
has been for me and supported me in kind of like navigating through those different experiences. And it's so interesting to your point, Ashley, like all the different roads that lead to this,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the same kind of,
Hmm.
you know, processing, understanding, navigating.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, it's it wasn't lost on me, and I appreciate you sort of understanding the difference between my journey and their journey, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Hmm.
as Black women, we have a different context, a different way that we are being in the world,
Hmm.
and sometimes not only does their experience not match our experience, but their solution, right? What works for them ain't necessarily going to work for us, right?
Yeah,
We got to
that's a
put it
fact.
in the right space.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like I know there's a 10-step framework that you've developed and not giving away the secret sauce. We already done got a gem, something that's supposed to be in the memoir. But what how do you guide people? Like if you had to like kind of simplify what it looks like to support a woman on this journey, what are some important things to go over with that person or with your community?
I would say, well, at the heart of my framework is to kind of get women to reconnect with who they are and where they're wanting to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have a visual or a concept of that, then you have something to focus on now. Because while we're on our journey, no matter what your journey is, if you're headed in a positive direction or in a aligned direction, um, in my belief, the enemy is always going to be trying to get you to drift or to distract you to not do the things that you've been called to do or to not put your life or keep your life in alignment on a straight and narrow in a positive direction within your identity in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So my framework, this particular 10-step framework is a way to keep women focused on where they're going, to keep them in alignment, whether that is with their schedule, with their time in relationships, how to stop those emotional loops from
Mm,
going, how to unlearn the things that no longer serve them.
that part.
Um, yeah, to
Mhm.
so just to basically how to align yourself with the woman that you know that you should be, the woman that you know you're called to be without all the drama or because no one is perfect, when those dramas or those distractions seep in, to not let it bottle you down so much
Mhm.
to where you are completely off the path that you're headed in and now you
Mhm.
feel like you're starting all over again. Like, no, we need to learn to
Mm-hmm.
give ourselves grace.
Mhm.
We need to learn
That's
that
what I
everybody
learned.
makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, because again, being a recovered perfectionist, I was my worst critic.
Mm.
So I'd be going along my path and I'd be doing so well in something for so long, and then something swoops in and distracts me. Now I'm like just guilt tripping
Mm-hmm.
myself so bad. And it's like, no,
Were
no,
you
we have to
always
be a
like
good
that?
steward of our lives.
Did you feel like you were like I relate to that in a lot of different ways. I was just telling my
Yeah.
mom like I'm in my grace season. Like I'm not beating myself up over nothing.
Mhm.
But were you always that way when you were younger?
I was not. I
Okay.
was not.
Mm,
I have, like obviously I've healed a lot from the trauma that I've gone through,
Mm-hmm.
but also while I'm creating these courses and these frameworks, things are coming up. It's like, oh, I did used to do that. Oh, okay. So I'm still uncovering things about my own journey, even still to this day.
mm,
But seeing the difference in how I used to react,
Mm-hmm.
like when I first left my ex-husband and how I react to things now is like night and day.
mm.
Ooh, that's
That's
beautiful.
growth, growth.
Yeah.
That's growth.
That's the
Yeah,
journey.
I love
it
what you
is.
said, the piece about, okay, where are you now and where do you want to go? And in your
Mhm,
journey from walking from A to Z, the devil is going to send distractions to get you off
mm,
guard.
Absolutely.
That is
mhm,
so important because it creates the
mhm,
awareness like that you have to be able to recognize them. Like, is this in
mm.
Absolutely.
like, is this in alignment with
Hmm.
who I'm becoming? Like, I was
Right.
Yeah.
somebody else last week. I done made progress to become this new person where I
Yeah.
am 7 days forward. Now, if I want to continue that journey, I can't be looking at
Mhm.
Boo Boo the Fool. And if I want to
Come on now.
continue,
Come on now.
hey, if I want to continue on my journey, so the incremental, just understanding that those things will be coming. And I'm still stuck in this wilderness word that you use, like you're in a season of wilderness because
Oh, yeah. There's so many stories of women in their wilderness season in the Bible.
is
And
it?
because my niche is specifically for women, I'm teaching women. Oh my gosh, I just had, well, I call them Bible studies, but I'm changing the name. I'm changing it to Becoming Bible Sessions because there's like 20 to 25 minutes. It's not a whole Bible study.
Mhm,
But I'm showing women how to have a different perspective when it comes to reading stories about other women in the Bible. Like when I
Mhm.
mhm,
tell you the Lord has already given us the blueprint, but
mhm.
because so many translations, if you will, of the Bible or so many stories of the Bible are pretty much told from the perspective of a man,
And
it's like once you read it from a different lens, you're like, oh, that's me.
Mhm.
mhm.
That's
Right.
It's
powerful.
just it came to me last year. It was a revelation that the Lord gave to me. He's like, look, I want you to teach women their stories in the Bible. Their stories are there. And I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? Our stories are here. I mean, obviously, it's not exactly the same,
Mhm,
but the trauma, the abuse, the neglect that a woman in the Bible may have gone through and how she's worked through the process and now has shifted. Oh, that's a lot of our stories all day long.
Wow.
And so I'm taking women out of the Bible as it relates to the themes within the becoming room. And
mhm,
I'm basically having them see that
Separating.
yes, this is
Yeah.
in the Bible. What you've gone through is in the Bible. The
Yeah.
decisions you need to make now are in the Bible. The alignment
Mhm.
you need to agree with is in the Bible. It's all
mhm.
there.
Right. Where it's a new time, but the
Yes,
lesson is still there. And
yes,
and
absolutely.
you mentioned so many um so many of our influences are how we think of ourselves as it relates to men and the system of patriarchy, right? So
Mhm.
and as women, we don't necessarily see ourselves equal to men. I mean, we're not socialized in that way, right?
Right.
Even any system that we have, whether it be religious, employment,
Hmm.
housing, it's all um, balanced on a man's preference
True.
and what they sort of allow for us. So to understand who we are as women in this world, in this time, in this space right now, and the power that we do have. Once we
Hmm.
sort of peel that back and can really see where, first of all, no life comes without a woman.
Come on now.
We can start right there,
Oh,
right?
no.
So, but if once we recognize the power that we do have, and then we understand that these things are first of all, authoress. I forgot where I heard that. Somebody's an authoress.
I
That
like
was on
that.
the show. I'm an authoress. But uh, as you were talking about your journey, right? It's of I'm understanding who I am as a mother. I'm understanding who I am as a woman. I'm understanding who I am as a Black woman, and the sacredness of all of those
Yeah,
identities, right?
absolutely.
And you dip into that power, you're almost
It's over.
unstoppable. It's over.
It's over. Yes.
Over.
Yes. So many women do
When we
not realize
understand.
the amount of power
Absolutely.
that they have.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
love that. I really do. Ashley, if a woman is in a rough patch right now, what's one thing she should stop telling herself?
Mhm.
That it's over or that she's behind for sure, because it's not over and you're
Yes.
not behind.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You know, we spend so much time trying to compare ourselves to what we see on social media or what we see in the world, and none of that, well, I'm not gonna say none of it, but the majority of it is not real.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Everyone has their own journey, their own lane, their own story. So yeah, that would definitely be the first thing I would say. It's
Mhm.
not over and you're not behind.
it's
You're
not
probably
over.
exactly where you're supposed to be. You just need to figure out what you're supposed to do to be moving forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Paying attention. Tune in. Put
Yep.
the blinders
Yep.
on. Like, I
Put your
ain't worried
blinders
about
on.
that. I ain't worried about that.
We sometimes look at other people and everybody has a struggle. I don't
Hmm.
know
You don't even
anyone
see it though.
without a struggle. And so sometimes you have to ask yourself, do I want to change my struggle for that struggle?
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That struggle.
You might think you want it,
Oh,
but you
no,
don't. Mhm.
you
Yeah.
don't even know all the stuff that person
Yeah,
is going through.
yeah.
You just see the smile,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, I definitely you will make it through. That's a good lesson.
Okay.
Ashley, how can folks stay connected with you? How can they learn more about your work and the becoming space?
Okay, so I am actually in the process of building my website and it is coming along beautifully. I cannot wait for it to be done. But in the meantime, I can be reached through Instagram. My personal one is at becoming Ashley underscore fell. And then the one for the imperfectly perfect space is at the imperfectly underscore perfect space. I have a link in my bio on all of my social media platforms. They can click in that to get the link to join the Becoming Room. It is a free community, and I would love for anyone who wants to join to join.
Well, that has been our Women in Bloom episode today. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for watching if you're on YouTube or if you're on Spotify or if you're watching snippets on IG. Thank you for being here today, and see you next time.